Welcome to the 2020 February monthly safety meeting. Our vision, we will deliver the best customer experience with industry-leading safety, reliability, and innovation. What does it mean to you? And also, what part do we play in achieving these visions? Overview during today's meeting, we will be covering the right turns and pedestrian as well as the ADA sensitivity and wheelchair securements. Our injury topic this month is on strain and sprain back safety. We will refresh ourselves around the fundamental of recognize how to make safe right turns, practice safe driving techniques around pedestrians, provide excellent customer service for the ADA passengers, and also avoid sprain and strain and prevent back injury. We're going to cover fleet safety part one of right turns and pedestrian.
Hi, I'm Tres Martinez and I'm a trainer for bus operators of the public transit industry. Before doing this, I was a driver for over 15 years. One thing that I discovered and other operators have discovered over time is that the right-hand turn is one of the most dangerous things that we encounter every single day. Some of the hazards that a driver can encounter while making a right turn are both fixed and non-fixed. You could have a car. You could have a telephone pole or a light pole that's too close to the curb. You can have moving objects, such as pedestrians that'll be distracted with a cell phone or maybe some headphones. You'll have bicyclists, a number of other things moving through an intersection that you've got to be aware of before, during, and after you execute that turn. So let's do this. Let's watch this video and get more into right-hand turns and how you can do them perfect every single time. Not all intersections or right turns that you'll come across can be performed in one fluid movement. This particular intersection is one of those. As you approach an intersection, your work begins before you get there. You have to be scanning the whole time. You're scanning for bikes, pedestrians, cars, fixed objects such as telephone poles and other obstacles that could get in the way. Remember, you're going to rock and roll. You want to use your mirrors the entire time. Remember that your tires should be placed to the outside edge of the left curb to allow for more room to clear the right side object. By going to the left side, it allows more space for that back right tire to clear the obstacle because it's going to follow in the pathway of the tires that are in front. Notice here as the bus moves into the turn. The length of this bus at 40 feet long cannot clear both the left curb and the right curb at the same time. You're going to have to exercise pivot points. By doing so, this bus will go straight to where the driver is actually sitting on top of the curb. Right before that tire would hit the curb, move the wheels in the front to the right in order to avoid contact. You never want to make contact with your tires on a curb because it can damage the tires, it can jostle the passengers, and maybe even knock a passenger over if they weren't holding on properly. As those tires move to the right, you're looking to make sure that the right tire is now getting closer to hitting the curb. And now you want to move those wheels back straight through the intersection so that the right tire does not hit the curb. Once that's no longer an issue and that back tire will clear at that pivot point, turn the wheels to the right again to finish the navigation. You signal that you're coming to the intersection, you scan your mirrors, you rock and roll again, and you enter the intersection and bring yourself up to speed at a gradual level. At this intersection, you'll be using your 4-foot reference point so that you can line yourself up perfectly to make that turn. What is the 4-foot reference point? The 4-foot reference point is what you can set up for yourself on a particular bus to know that you have enough room to make a safe turn. You do so by parking the bus, measuring 4 feet, finding an object on that bus that lines up with the curb. Use that while you make the turn and it will never lie. For this intersection, the operator is going to use the right-hand side of the windshield wiper as their 4-foot reference point. As with any intersection, before you get there, your work begins. You want to scan that entire area. When you come to the complete stop, you want to look to the left, to the right, and the left again. You'll pull slowly into the intersection. You never want to burst into an intersection in case somebody runs a stop sign or a red light. Watch as the operator uses a slow, safe speed while turning. The slower you go, the more room you have to make your turn. You want to use the push-pull turning method. See that the right-hand tire has now cleared the curb and you straighten the bus out. You must continue scanning and using a gentle, safe acceleration speed, safely enter the flow of traffic. While it's not a right-hand turn directly, approaching a stop is one of the most dangerous and most common things that bus operators do. As you approach the stop, you want to use your right-hand turn signal to show that you'll be accessing a stop. As they get to the bus stop, they turn on their four-way flashers. This shows vehicles that you are stopped. When you're ready to enter traffic again, you want to turn your four-way flashers off and have your left-hand turn signal on to denote to traffic that you are moving back into the lane. Scan your mirrors. Slowly accelerate, rock and roll, safely enter the flow of traffic. This bus stop has a fence. It's an elevated stop that comes out from the curb into the lane of traffic. At this location with this fence that goes along the stop, you want to be careful that you don't swing out too far to where you hit a car in the left-hand lane. You also want to make sure that at the back of the bus, your tail swing does not hit a person standing at the bus stop or that fence. Watch this operator slowly leave the stop, stay in the lane, use their left-hand turn signal to show where they are, and move into the lane and continue on. Not all intersections are created equal. You're not going to have the luxury of using a 4-foot reference point on this turn. The lane is too tight. The road is at a crown. This can cause your bus to lean a little bit. By doing so, it'll get it closer to any light poles or any other objects that could potentially be a hazard. Once the bus continues through the intersection, be wary of cars to the left. Be wary of bicyclists trying to get around to the right, pedestrians trying to run through to the other side, not observing the proper crosswalk laws. Once you get to your pivot point, you want to slowly turn the wheel, watching that back tire to make sure it doesn't go over the curb, watching that front left bumper to make sure you don't make contact with any objects. As you accelerate into the lane, you want to do so carefully and also slowly so that you don't jostle your passengers. Remember that you are the professional operator. You have to drive safe for yourself and for the people around you that aren't doing so. You have to see things around you, and if you use these techniques that we talk about in this video, you will indeed be serious.
What type of hazards do you look for doing a right-hand turn? Fixed and non-fixed object, or fixed or non-fixed hazards. Pedestrians that might be distracted, or even bicyclists. Other vehicles in the intersection. Where do your front steer tires need to be for this type of turns? Your front steer tires should be placed as far to the left without rubbing on the curb, so you give a path your rear wheel can follow without hitting the curb or obstacles on the right side. Be sure you scan your mirrors and rock and roll in your seat. What is the 4-foot reference point used for? That's a predetermined place on your bus you use to line up with the external fixed object to position your bus 4 feet from the curb. So again, that place on your bus you use to line up with an external fixed object to position your bus 4 feet from the curb. What's the fundamentals should follow to clear your path prior to executing a right-hand turn? Look left, right, left, and scan intersection for pedestrian coming from both sides. How to get your 4-foot reference points. Park the bus 4 feet from a cone or fixed object. From the driver's seat, find an object on the bus like windshield, wiper. Line it up with the curb on a cone outside the bus. Or just line them up with the curb outside the bus. Next time you park, remember your reference points. Now let's talk about part 2. ADA sensitivity wheelchair securements.
Good morning, Bob.
Morning there, big man. Morning, Alice!
There's no need to be awkward.
Poor Bob. Like so many of us, he just doesn't know how to interact with people with disabilities.
It's pretty easy, really. People with disabilities are people first.
We need the same things that every person needs, like respect.
Good morning, everyone.
Attention! Okay. Maybe we need to be more specific.
The easiest way to show respect is to focus on the person, not the disability. It's okay. You'll get the hang of it.
One easy way to focus on the person is to watch the person signing and not their interpreter.
Or their companion.
It's really cool that you'd like to help, but do us both a favor and please ask me first. What you think might be helping?
I got you.
Wait, ah! Oh no, might actually not.
If you'd like to offer me help, let me hold on to your elbow. Don't take mine.
Hey, would you like to take mine?
Sure.
Assistive devices help us to live our lives. They're really important and really personal.
Grabbing them only makes it weird for everyone.
What?
Please only touch our devices and service animals if we've given you permission. And don't take it personally if I ask you not to. Remember that my service animal helps me all the time. Neither of us would like it if we were separated.
Remember, we make our own decisions. We sign documents, vote, volunteer, work, and pay taxes.
We get married.
So don't touch me just because I have a great smile.
Just because I'm blind does not mean I'm deaf.
Just because I'm deaf doesn't mean I'm blind.
And just because I use a wheelchair doesn't mean that I can't sweep you off your feet.
So take a deep breath, relax. We don't bite.
Unless we're really hungry.
Hello there, ladies. How are you?
Hello. And if you're not sure what to do, just ask.
Hi, would you still like to see a menu?
No thanks, but can you please read it to me?
Sure, definitely.
Just treat us the way you would want to be treated, and we'll all be okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Alice.
Morning.
Awkward no more. Nice job, Bob. Go forth and be human.
There's no need to be awkward.
How may I assist you? Sometimes it's a little harder for people with disabilities and seniors to take advantage of public transportation. And it's up to us at MV to make sure their transportation needs are met and they have a great experience with us and will ride again and again. Provide assistance in boarding or seating if a passenger needs or requested. Ask, how may I assist you? We treat every customer with the platinum rule. Treat others the way they want to be treated. Wheelchair securements. The safety of our passengers is the most critical aspect of our work. And the loading and offloading of mobility devices on and off our buses are some of the most hazardous activities we will perform on a daily basis. We need to make sure we are securing mobility device utilizing the 4 down, 3 around method. 4 down, always ensure full 4-point tie down when securing the mobility device in the bus and strive for a 45-degree tie down angle when possible. 3 around. Effective securement of a passenger increases his or her safety. Both lap and shoulder belts are necessary for proper passenger safety. Make sure the belt is not twisted and the lower section rests comfortably across the hip area and the shoulder it's set properly over the shoulder. So make sure the buckle is on the hip pockets, okay? Now, before we continue, I'd like to talk more about the ADA sensitivity. To just recap in general, how should you speak to a passenger with disability? Well, always speak clearly. When answering a question, make sure you speak directly to the passengers. If a passenger is accompanied by a traveling companion or a personal care assistant, speak to the passengers, not the companion. Drivers should always ask, how may I assist you? But never ask about a passenger's age or ask about his or her disability. What should you do if a passenger asks you the same question over and over? Answer all the questions, even if the passenger repeats the question several times. You could also try responding in a different manner. And remember, answering a question right away using short words. We're going to go ahead and cover part 3, strain and sprain. What are some of the risks of lifting? Many of us may not have the same situations when dealing with lifting heavy objects, but always remember to use proper lifting techniques. Always ask for assistance or use team lifting when trying to lift something heavy. Never try to lift heavy objects by yourself. Always ask for assistance. How should you practice safe work methods when lifting? Bend your knees when lifting and lift with your legs to take the strain off your back. Keep all loads close to your body. Don't use jerking motions. Don't bend or twist at the same time. And keep your back straight and don't pivot your feet. Part 4, back safety.
Know the facts about back injuries. Back injuries are among the most common type of workplace injuries. Bad lifting technique and poor back posture are not the only things contributing to back injuries. Your physical health and lifestyle also play an important role. Your body balance can be off if you sit or stand in an unnatural position, twist abruptly or awkwardly, or lift something incorrectly. Weak, under-exercised muscles rob the back of its support and increase the chance of injury. Excess weight can exaggerate the curve of the spine and strain the back. Stress, anxiety, and depression can cause muscles to tighten and throw your back into a spasm. Here are a few tips for preventing back injury and maintaining a strong and healthy back. Don't back down on fitness. Cultivating healthy eating habits, regular exercise, and daily stretching will do wonders for your back. Don't stand still. Prevent back spasms by breaking up periods of long standing with stretch breaks, or simply sit down to increase circulation in your back and reduce back strain. Always push, do not pull your load. Keep your spine straight and use your leg muscles to move the load. Remember these safety tips when lifting heavy objects in the workplace. Do not use fast or jerking motions when lifting. Do not bend or twist at the same time when lifting. Keep all loads close to the body. Do not handle loads away from the body. Get help. Most loads should require at least 2 or more people lifting. Use a dolly or a forklift if you can. Lift with your legs, not your back. Don't overdo it. If you have to strain to carry the load, it's too heavy. Never carry a load backward. It can throw off your balance. Look after your back. Prevention is better than a cure.
What else besides bad lifting technique and poor back posture contribute to back injuries? Your physical health and lifestyle play an important role to back safety as well. You can injure your back with poor body mechanics, if your body is off balance by sitting or standing in an unnatural position, by twisting abruptly or awkwardly, or lifting something incorrectly. If you have weak or under-exercised muscle in your back, it can rob your back of support and increase the chance of injury. Also, excess weight can also put a strain on your back. And lastly, personal factors like stress, anxiety, or depression can cause your muscle to tighten or throw your back into a spasm. What are scenarios can you think of where back safety is important? Well, depending on your, from lifting boxes, helping wheelchair passengers, get strapped into a vehicle where we have many scenarios where we could experience strain or injury. Securing a wheelchair passenger is a big one for us. Make sure when you're securing a wheelchair, always squat. Don't bend, because it can hurt your back. Back to what are the ways an operator can injure themselves securing a wheelchair passenger? Well, there are two ways. You can injure your back securing mobility devices. One is bending down instead of squatting. To secure the strap to the floor from a mobility device, strap secure means the securements, floor securements. Second is twisting your back to reach the other side of the mobility device. Make sure you use proper body mechanics when securing mobility device. Always walk around. You don't have to reach, just walk around. Come up with ways to help prevent back injuries and sprain and strain. Some possible answers, maybe healthy eating habits, regular exercise, daily stretching, avoid standing in a fixed position for a long period of time. If standing, take a stretch break or sit down. Always push or do not your load. Keep spin straight and use leg muscle. So always push and do not your load. Keep spin straight and use leg muscle. That don't make any sense. Do not use fast or jerking motion to lift. Do not bend or twist at the same time when lifting. Carry the load closer to your body. Get help from someone when lifting. Of course, you're not going to have a dolly when you drive your bus, but at home, use a dolly or two-wheel cart, hand truck, or forklift. Use your legs, not your back. Never carry a load backwards. You might trip and fall. Now we're going to cover a couple of drive cam review. We're going to watch video 1. Pretty close there. In this video, the operator appears to go over the curb. As he approached his stop, he hits the curb and then bus shakes and set off the drive cam event recorder. What could the operator have done differently? Well, he should have used his 4-foot reference points and make sure he's far enough away from the curb for his passengers to get on and off the bus. Luckily, he didn't go too far on the curb, potentially cause an accident involving the waiting pedestrians. Drive cam number 2.
A lot of people didn't want to vote for her because of her sexuality and all of this here. She was going to be weak and cry at the drop of a hat. You have to look at it. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Wow, that's pretty close. We'll watch it one more time. I think the driver forgot there's a pedestrian.
A lot of people didn't want to vote for her because of her sexuality and all of this here. She was going to be weak and cry at the drop of a hat. You have to look at it. Anyway, I'm sorry.
So in this video, the operator is distracted by having a conversation with our passenger on the bus. While there are no law about being broken, there's definitely a cognitive distraction happening and the driver has late response near collision event when she realized there's pedestrian crossing in front of her vehicle. So what should the operator have done differently in this situation? Well, we all been trained to always look ahead, make sure the crosswalk is clear at all time. Stay focused on your maneuver and avoid any distraction. Make eye contact with pedestrian. Make sure before you make a left turn or a right turn, always look left, look right, look left again. Rock and roll in your seat. Make sure you're 100% clear that there is no hazards, no pedestrian or bicyclist. Thank you for your undivided attention and your commitment to safety. Thank you for completing the February 2020 monthly safety meeting. Have a good day.